Did you know that the movie Titanic almost had an entirely different leading lady? Today we're embarking on a voyage through the chilly waters of trivia about this iconic film. From unexpected casting decisions to hidden gems of behind-the-scenes lore, we'll uncover 15 delightful tidbits that even the most devoted fans might not know. Whether it's secrets from the set or the stories behind the scenes, each fact promises to enhance your appreciation of this cinematic masterpiece. Stay tuned as we dive into the depths of Titanic's fascinating cinematic journey. Imagine Titanic without Leonardo DiCaprio or Kate Winslet. It's almost unthinkable now, but back in the mid-90s, casting the leads for Titanic was a whirlwind of possibilities. Initially, names like Matthew McConaughey and Gwyneth Paltrow were floated for the roles of Jack and Rose. Yes, the charming Texan and the sophisticated blonde were nearly the faces of this epic love story. The casting process was intense. Both McConaughey and Paltrow had screen tests, and one can only wonder how their versions of Jack and Rose might have interacted. Would their chemistry have sparked the same global fascination? It's a curious thought. Ultimately, it was the chemistry between Leonardo DiCaprio and Kate Winslet during their screen tests that sealed their fates as the iconic duo. Their dynamic on-screen relationship captured hearts worldwide, making it hard to envision anyone else in their places. Casting could have gone in a completely different direction, changing the film's dynamic entirely. Building a ship for a movie can be as costly as building a real one. When James Cameron set out to create Titanic, he wasn't messing around with small change. The movie's budget skyrocketed to $200 million, making it one of the most expensive films of its time. To put that into perspective, that was nearly the same amount it cost to construct the actual RMS Titanic back in the early 20th century. The massive budget certainly paid off, making Titanic one of the most epic films ever made. Scene script. Filming Titanic was not all glitz and glamour. It was downright chilly. Imagine stepping into a massive pool, where the water isn't invitingly warm, but rather mimics the freezing temperatures of the North Atlantic. That was the daily reality for the cast of Titanic during some of the film's most pivotal scenes. Director James Cameron was committed to authenticity, so he insisted on using real ice-cold water, rather than the Hollywood norm of heated pools. This approach meant that actors, including Leonardo DiCaprio and Kate Winslet, had to perform in water temperatures that were kept just above freezing point. The chilling effect was not just physical, but intensely psychological, pushing the actors to realistically portray the despair and urgency of the sinking ship's passengers. To manage the risk of hypothermia, safety measures were rigorous, with crew members on standby to provide warm robes and hot drinks the moment the cameras stopped rolling. Despite these precautions, the cold was a constant challenge, a stark reminder of the historical tragedy they were reenacting. Actors endured these harsh conditions to bring authenticity to their roles. A piece of jewelry could become almost as famous as the movie itself. Enter the heart of the ocean, a breathtaking blue diamond necklace that captured hearts worldwide in the film Titanic. Despite its on-screen allure, this gem was not plucked from the depths of history, but was in fact crafted specifically for the film. Its design was inspired by the Hope Diamond, a real and famously cursed jewel, which added layers of intrigue to its cinematic counterpart. The heart of the ocean transcended its role as a mere prop, embodying the film's themes of love and tragedy. Its impact was so profound that a version of the necklace was created by renowned jeweler Harry Winston, using a real blue diamond and valued at over $20 million. This piece was later auctioned for charity, fetching a handsome sum and proving that its appeal could extend far beyond the silver screen. This prop became a symbol of love and luxury, much like Titanic itself. James Cameron's dedication to historical accuracy is legendary. When crafting the cinematic masterpiece that is Titanic, he went to extraordinary lengths to ensure the portrayal was as true to history as possible. This began with the ship itself, a near-perfect replica of the RMS Titanic constructed with painstaking detail. From the grand staircase to the cutlery and carpeting, no element was too small to overlook. But Cameron's commitment didn't stop at inanimate objects. The film also brought to life the stories of actual passengers aboard the ill-fated voyage. Historical figures like Molly Brown and Captain Smith were not just characters, but were portrayed with nuances and details pulled from real historical accounts and diaries. Moreover, the dialogue and events, while dramatized for cinematic effect, were often rooted in eyewitness testimonies and findings from the Titanic's wreckage, providing a narrative that felt both epic and intimate. These meticulous details contributed to the movie's authenticity and emotional depth. Directing Titanic was no small feat for James Cameron. Imagine the colossal challenge of recreating one of the most tragic events in maritime history, not to mention doing so on an unprecedented cinematic scale. Cameron wasn't just a director. He was a visionary who insisted on the utmost authenticity and groundbreaking visual effects. To achieve his vision, Cameron developed new filming techniques, including the use of robotic cameras that could dive to the depths of the ocean to capture the eerie stillness of the real Titanic wreck. He also insisted on building a nearly full-scale replica of the ship, which was constructed in a specially designed tank that could simulate the flooding and sinking. This hands-on approach often meant long, grueling hours for the cast and crew, sometimes under extreme physical and emotional stress. He was known to push the limits of what was technically and humanely possible, embodying the spirit of the very story he was telling. Cameron's relentless pursuit of perfection is evident in every frame of Titanic. Could you imagine Titanic without its hauntingly beautiful soundtrack? It's almost unthinkable. The masterful compositions that tug at our heartstrings were crafted by James Horner, a composer known for his ability to emotionally engage audiences through music. Horner's approach to the Titanic score was to imbue it with both grandeur and intimacy, reflecting the epic scale of the film and the personal stories within. Central to the soundtrack's success is the song "My Heart Will Go On," performed by Celine Dion. This ballad encapsulates the poignant love story of Jack and Rose, becoming an instant classic upon the film's release. Its sweeping melody and heartfelt lyrics helped cement the song as a cultural phenomenon, topping charts around the world. The synergy between Horner's compositions and the film's narrative enhanced Titanic's emotional depth, making the tragedy of the RMS Titanic resonate on a deeply personal level for viewers. The soundtrack not only enhanced the movie's emotional impact, but also won hearts worldwide. Some of Titanic's most memorable scenes were born in the moment. In the whirlwind of filming, a film as meticulously crafted as Titanic still left room for spontaneity. It's these unscripted gems that often etch themselves most vividly into the minds of viewers. Take, for example, Leonardo DiCaprio's exhilaration as he stood at the prow of the ship. The script did not initially include his now iconic shout, "I'm the king of the world." That line, bursting from a genuine burst of emotion and adrenaline, was improvised during one of the takes. Director James Cameron loved the authenticity and energy so much that he kept it in the final cut. This wasn't the only instance of improvisation breathing life into the script. Many of the small, nuanced interactions between characters were ad-libbed, lending a realism that scripted dialogue sometimes struggles to achieve. From laughter to subtle glances, the actors brought a personal touch that resonated with audiences worldwide. These spontaneous moments added a touch of magic to the film. Decades later, Titanic still captivates audiences around the globe. This film not only shattered box office records, but also set a new standard for storytelling and technical innovation in cinema. Its portrayal of both historical events and human emotions has left a lasting impact, influencing countless films that followed. Titanic remains a cultural touchstone, inspiring new generations of filmmakers and artists. It's celebrated not just for its visual spectacle, but for its ability to weave complex narratives with profound themes. As we've seen, Titanic is much more than just a movie. It's a monumental piece of cinematic history. Today, we've sailed through some of the most intriguing and fun facts about Titanic. From the staggering cost of recreating the ship to the chilling temperatures actors endured, each fact adds depth to our understanding of this monumental film. Remember the unexpected improvisations and the iconic score that still echoes in the hearts of many. Which of these facts surprised you the most? Share your favorite Titanic moments or little-known facts in the comments. Thank you for joining me on this cinematic voyage. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and dive into the comments section before you go.